Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make a lovely wedding slider card. Recently, one of my dearest friends got married and I wanted to make a really nice card for her. Naturally, I wanted to craft an extraordinary card, something that would serve as a cherished keepsake for the special day. I started by cutting and coloring clouds in a soft pink color. I envisioned 3 rows of cascading clouds in a soft pink hue, harmonizing beautifully with the card's background and creating a romantic ambience fitting for the celebration. Next, I stamped and die-cut the figures, and how adorable they looked riding that bicycle together. To give the bicycle a touch of glamour, I used a metallic marker, giving it a subtle shine. As this was a wedding card, I aimed for a serene, romantic color palette that would evoke a sense of calm and happiness. By the way, if you like crafts like me, don't forget to subscribe to my page and visit my blog. You can find the link in the description box. For the groom, I chose colors that would seamlessly blend with the entire background color palette and also look fantastic for a formal event. I opted for a light pink shirt paired with sharp dark grey pants and topped off with a cool bow tie. To add an extra touch of elegance, I included a stylish top hat adorned with a matching pink ribbon. It was all about sophistications after all. On another note, let me remind you that you can find the list of products I use on my blog. Now let's shift our focus to the riding bride, who is without doubt the focal point of every wedding. For her hair, I opted for a reddish brown palette to distinguish her from the groom. Make sure to apply the strokes in a direction that mimics the natural hair flow. It goes without saying that the bride needs a veil and flowers. Regarding the flowers, my initial plan included both pink and light orange hues. However, the orange felt a tad too intense, so I layered it with a pink marker, achieving a lovely blend that still retained a hint of that beautiful orange shade. Of course, her wedding dress remained dazzling white, but I couldn't resist adding a touch of magic. A pearlescent white paint transformed her dress and veil into shimmering wonders that caught the light, creating a mesmerizing effect and giving that extra touch to the card. Lastly, I assembled the pieces and fine-tuned the placement by carefully trimming certain areas with scissors. This ensured that the bride and groom would comfortably share the bicycle. At this stage, my card centerpiece looks splendid, but I wanted it to be sturdier since it was a slider car. To achieve this, I glued the figures onto cardstock and carefully trimmed away any excess paper with my trusty X-Acto knife. For the background, I selected a delightful paper adorned with hearts. After all, love was in the air. The die I used for the slider has a fun curve which I found fitting as marriage has its own ups and downs, doesn't it? First thing I did was to stamp a heartfelt sentiment. Considering the busy pattern on the paper I had used, I decided to stamp the message on the clouds. I moved around my stamps a little bit to find the perfect spot for them. To ensure the slider could move smoothly, I attached 2 layers of foam tape to the side, adding extra support pieces in the middle. When placing the patterned paper on the foam tape, peel off the edges of the tape and slowly start gluing the paper. That way, if you make a mistake or place the paper incorrectly, it is easier to fix. I carefully glued the slider piece to the back. Between the 2 paper layers, I inserted 2 identical coins. Initially, I used one, but it didn't quite meet my standards as it wasn't provided enough support. These coins also helped press the die-cut paper until it was perfectly adhered to the background. With a small piece of foam tape on each coin, I place the bicycle on top of them. Given the card's elongated design, I position one coin to the middle and one at the front, allowing them to navigate the curves effortlessly. Then I placed the clouds. To allow for a bit of movement, I added 2 extra strips of double-sided tape on the clouds and 2 more on the bottom of the page. Basically, if it touched clouds, it needed 4 rows of double-sided tape. And my card is ready. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.